That's good. So let's start today's session. So let me give you a brief introduction about myself. I am Ajitab Mahalkari. By profession, I am academic associate, technical trainer, and also researcher. I have got experience of 10 years in teaching and training of different subjects. I am also AWS certified cloud practitioner and EMC certified academic associate. So I am eligible enough, I guess, to tell you all these things. So let's move further. So let me talk about today's agenda, what we are going to cover in this session today. So we are going to cover what is Python, a brief introduction about Python. If you are not familiar with Python, so it is necessary to know what it is, what are the properties. Then we'll talk about popularity of Python. We have some facts, so I'll share with you. Right, where it is used, I will give you some applications of Python programming language. Why Python is so popular? That is the key point of today's session. I will give you why it is so popular. Although you will come to know by several things. Then I'll give you a comparison between other programming language, a very short comparison between other programming language, and I'll give you how to learn Python language. Right. I would like to start today's session by this quote that says, "I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious." That is given by Albert Einstein. Uh, That's what you need to learn something new, right? If you're not familiar with it, that spirit should be with you. So let us start the session by the first thing I would like to tell you is what is Python. This is for the participants who does not know anything about Python, right? So let's talk about Python. So Python is nothing but a programming language which tells or which instructs the computer to do something, as if another languages you heard about like C, C++, Java, right? This is another language. But what is so special inside it? You will come to know in this session. So Python is an interpreted, object-oriented, high-level programming language with dynamic semantics. That is very important. So let us briefly introduce it. Interpreted, that means it is using interpreter instead of compiler. Why it is so, you will come to know about it. It is object-oriented, right? Object orientation is the key factor here. High level programming language, that means it is similar to the language what we use in real time, right? Real life. Next one, it is high level built in data structures. Very very important. Python has got some or rich library or collection of data structure readily available. You don't have to create it, right? You just need to invoke it and you can use it readily. Then Python is a simple, easy to learn syntax and emphasizes on readability, therefore reduces the cost of program maintenance. That's very very important point I would like to point out here. Python is very simple in syntax, right? No hard codes like in Java or any other programming language like Perl or Smalltalk. It is very simple, or it is very similar to the English language you use day to day, right? So that's a Python language. Some more facts about Python language is Python supports modules and packages, which encourages program modularity and code reuse. That's very important thing. Modules means and packages means we have ready-made available packages with you. You just need to involve it in your program and you can use them. That's modularity and reuse of the code. Right. Someone who have already written the code can give you in the form of packages and you can reuse it, right? So that's a fact about Python. Next thing, the Python interpreter and the extensive standard library are available in source or binary form, right, without charge of all major platforms, and can be freely distributed. Let me give you in a simple words. Python has got a rich library of packages and other files which can be included in the program, and it is free of cost available, right? That's the key thing about Python. So Python is freely available. You can tell that, right? Next thing I would like to tell you here is what are its uses. So if a Python is a programming language, so how it is used, where it is used, what are the applications of Python? So very first thing and most popular nowadays is the data science. So Python is extensively used in data science. How? Let me tell you that. Data science is a practice of extracting information and insights from data. You want to collect something from data. You have a huge collection of data and you want to extract some information out of it. That's not only DBMS, right? That is a data science. It include n number of things to extract some useful information or some insights about data. Let's say you want to check out how many internet users are using Zoom right now. So that can be kind of information which you want to extract from a huge amount of data. Next thing comes in data mining, that is machine learning, right? Machine learning is a part of data science, right? Through data, we make systems learn, right? You heard about recommender system that recommends something, right? Image recognition, something recognition, then face ID, right? These are the applications of machine learning, right? So that is also under the data science, and Python is extensively used. Python has got a rich library for machine learning, face recognition, audio recognition, voice recognition, right? Python is also used for data visualization and analysis, right? Data has got some functions, or you may say some packages, which can be included, or libraries may be included for data visualization and analysis, extensively used. This is the most popular usage of Python. So now you can understand Python is very much useful in data science. Next application is web development. Right, you can use Python for web development. Right, why and how? Let me tell you that. Python developers can use web frameworks to quickly and efficiently build dynamic web applications. You want to interact with the website, right? You want to give some input, you want some output from the web application, right? So that kind of websites are built with some tools, and Python is very popular amongst them. You have otherwise you have to learn a client side scripting language like JavaScript or something. But if you are a Python developer, or let me tell you that if you know some of the Python, you can use it for efficient building of dynamic web pages, right? And framework significantly reduce the development time also, because Python was developed to reduce the application development time itself. So automatically web development task will be reduced as far as the time is concerned to build it, right? So very much useful for web application development. Then let me talk about application development. It is very simple concept, yet it is very popular to use it. So Python is also used for application development, right? So since Python is written to have lower development time and effort, it is great for prototyping, right? Prototyping means you just need to code it and it is ready. And as far as Python is concerned, it requires very less time as compared to very less time and effort as compared to other programming language, right? It is also robust, it is also scalable, it is also speedy, and also versatile, right? uh, if you talk about big enterprise level projects, so it is also useful, right? It's not that if Python is useful for small projects or like that, it is not that. Python can be used for enterprise level projects, right? I will let you know some of them about it in later slides. Right. Python is also comes with database APIs, right? That allows you to connect with most popular databases in industry, like MySQL, Oracle, right? PLSQL, MS SQL Server, etc. So, what I want to tell you here is Python is used for application development, right? Application development, and it can be used for bigger size applications, right? It is capable enough. The next application is automation scripts, right? Automation script, I don't know whether you have heard about or not. That really means is writing some small programs that perform certain tasks automatically. That means you don't need to uh, you don't need to invoke the program, right? You can write some program, or you can write some script, right? It will automatically executes whenever the condition meets. So Python is ideal for that kind of script writing because it is quick and easy to write, right? The next application is a little interesting. It's about the fintech technologies. As fintech means financial technologies. So if you talk about financial technologies that are used in e-commerce nowadays, so that kind of things you can do with Python, right? So if you talk about the results from HackerRank's developer skill report, so Python is number one language from three most popular languages used in financial service companies. So according to HackerRank, Python is most popular programming language for financial technologies or financial application level development. Right? These are some of the major applications of Python programming language. There are more than that. Apart from these, I have told you that is game development, GUI applications, networking, testing, robotics, embedded applications, right? Why I am telling you these? Because Python has got a rich set of libraries, right, which can be used for game development, networking, robotics, embedded systems. So that are n number of applications of Python, right, which can be readily used. So now you got little idea why it is so popular, right? Now let me tell you some facts about Python programming language and also its popularity. Why it is so popular? That's why you are here. That's why you're listening to me, right? So let me give you some facts about popularity of Python. Let me give you some facts about it. The first fact I would like to show you is from Statistica. That is, programming language Python is most popular in 2019 and 20 in between. So if you talk about the data between 2019 and 20 from Statistica, right, the most popular programming language and 29.9% of developers, right, are using Python as programming language, and yearly trend is increasing by 4.1%. So it is given by Statistica, the most popular statistics provider, uh, right, in the world. Let me give you another fact about Python, right? If you talk about job trends, right, as I suppose many of you are freshers or maybe college graduates, so let me give you this info, right? It is very useful for you. So it is from indeed.com, the very famous job portal, right? So worldwide trend, as far as programming languages are concerned, in last 4 years, that is 17, 18, 2019 and 2020, the Python is the biggest one, the largest in demand trend of jobs is Python. So now you can see the trend of the Python. It is changing and it is increasing, right? From 2017 to 18 and 18 to 20, right? Other programming languages are also there, like Java. It is also trending, but not as Python. So Python is ahead of other programming languages. Next fact is also from Indeed.com, the popular job portal. What it is telling, it is very interesting. It is most in-demand programming languages as far as the job posting is 2019 is concerned. So the jobs posted on Indeed.com, they analyze it, and they found it the most popular programming language was Java, but the Python is little behind that. So we can talk about this, like Python is among three most popular in demand programming languages as far as your jobs are concerned, right? Let me give you another fact about Python. The big players in industry are using Python, and uh, that is fact. Google, Netflix, Facebook, Instagram, Amazon, Quora, eBay, Spotify, they all, even NASA is also using Python for some of the embedded programming languages, right? So what does it mean? It means Python has got capability to do something, enormous for the companies. That's what they're using, right? So these big clients are using Python. You can visit the websites and you can have the proof that they're using Python programming languages in their business. So now you got the idea why it is so popular. Let me tell you some more facts about it. Right. The next fact is from the Stack Overflow, the very famous portal for question answer kind of setup. Then, right? According to Stack Overflow, in 2019, Python was the most popular as far as the questions are concerned. So people ask more questions about Python. That's what I want to tell you, right? If they want some answers about Python, that means they are working in Python. They have some queries in Python. They put on that portal and they got some answers. That means there are practitioners of Python programming language who are asking questions, and also there are some answer providers who are also using Python programming language. So the trend is increasing like the hell, right? It was 4% in 2009, and it is for 12% or more than 12%, I guess, in 2019. So trend is increasing. That will give you insights about it. Now, next fact is also from Stack Overflow, but it is little different because the previous fact I have told you about was up till 2019. Let me tell you the fact or projected traffic of questions in 2020. So, what Stack Overflow is predicting that in 2020, if people are using Python, they will ask more questions about Python. So in 2019 it was more than 12%, and the projected in 2020 is more than 16%. It's huge, right? That means the demand is increasing, right? And that means the people are using Python more and more, right? Next fact is about Python libraries. I have already told you Python is used extensively. Why? Because of its rich library, which can be used readily in your programs and you're ready to go. Right. So there are famous Python libraries called as Pandas, TensorFlow, right? NumPy, PySpark. These are most popular Python libraries which can be used in programs. So now you can understand these are the trends of questions from these libraries. That means people are asking about these Python libraries extensively, right? So this figure is telling you that. I hope you are getting the essence why I'm telling you these facts, because these are coming from well-known sources. This is not like I am just telling you. I have a proof of concept for this, right? And you can also Google it for the proof of concept. Next, why it is so popular. I have shown you so many facts, but still it is not clear why it is so popular. So let me give you points behind the popularity or the reason of popularity of Python programming language. So these are the facts why Python is so popular. This is the key point of today's session. Right. So there are a few points. Let me read it for you. It is easy to read, write, maintain, so developers love it. So it is essence. What else you need, right? As a developer, what else you need? If you can read the code, big codes, and you can write it simply, and you can maintain it for longer period or for different types of projects, then of course you will love it. So that is the main fact behind the popularity of Python language, right? Then next point is efficient for prototyping. So startups and entrepreneurs, loves it. Why? Because prototyping is very easy. I have already told you what is prototyping. You just need to, need to create the program and you're ready to use, right? And prototyping is also involved in Python in form of dynamic typing. That means you don't need to basically provide the data types to the variables. You can have a variable and you can store any of the data type in that particular variable. Right. This is also a very important point why Python is so popular nowadays. Next, highly scalable and powerful. So large companies like Google and Netflix love it. Very important thing, right? Because we are talking about Python as a programming language, so we can imagine about some small program of maybe 100 or 200 lines. But if you talk about big companies or large companies like Google and Netflix, so they require highly scalable and powerful tool to create their business oriented applications, right? So it is very important to have such tool, and Python is one of them, right? Believe me, it is extensively used for Google applications and Netflix. The next fact about Python, why it is popular, is it is modular, right? I've already told you the modularity means you can make your programs in pieces and chunks, and you can rearrange it wherever it is required. Even a chunk or a piece of code or a particular package or a library of a particular code in Python can be used in other programs. So it is modular, it can be easily accessed, and we can add libraries to specific functions. So data science, machine learning engineers love it. That's what I want to tell you here is, if you are looking for machine learning, if you are looking forward to data science, you must have Python skills, right? You otherwise you will be stuck at any point. If you know Python very well, you can use the inbuilt library functions which is readily available in Python for machine learning, for data science, for artificial intelligence. So that is the basic backbone. And I can't say right now that other programming languages are not used for this, but Python is extensively used, right? And Python can be used easily without much efforts, right? Next fact about Python is an open source programming language with a robust community, so everyone loves it. So very, very important thing. If you heard about Python, so it is free of cost available, right? It is free of cost available. That means you can download the interpreter, you can use it to develop any scale of software or web application, right? You can use it for mobile application development. So there are n number of things you can use, and without cost, right, at your convenience, you can use it. So these are some of the very popular facts why Python is so much popular nowadays. Right. Let's compare the other programming language as well. I am giving you very broad level of comparison here. Now, if you compare the code of other programming language, now you can see it is very simple program of hello world. So if you talk about in C, the line of code is all about 6 to 7, right? And you need a 6 to 7 code to just print hello world on the screen, right? Now if you talk about C++, it is reasonably same. It is 7 to 8 lines, right? If you talk about most programming language, Java, so if you want to print hello world on the screen, you need that complex code. I am not considering Java is very weak language here, but I am talking about the efforts which we are putting to code the things, right? Here we have that much complex code, and even a single letter is missing, then you cannot run the Java program. So that is little complex. I'm not telling the Java is weaker programming; it is very strong programming language. But the effort or the time required to code in Java is much more than if you talk about Python. So if you want to print the hello world on the screen, you just have to have 3 words or a single line of code in Python. So that's the comparison between other programming languages. So now you got an idea that if you are writing code in C, C++, or Java, you need to have n number of lines on code, and you need to have a very complex structure on the program, right? And instead of that, if you're using Python, you have a very simple structure, very simple syntax. You can use it like day-to-day English, right? And you can even write those complex programs which you cannot write in C++ or Java easily. You need strong expertise to write those level of programs. So if you talk about Python, it is very much flexible, right? So these are the facts. Now I hope you got the idea why Python is so much popular nowadays. So I recommend that all of you or all the students must know Python at least. They should learn Python because they are going to work in IT, or they are going to do some work in machine learning or data science or artificial intelligence or maybe cloud computing. So there may be n number of point of time whether you required Python, right? So one must have the skills on the Python programming language. I really recommend. And you also seen the facts that Python is very much popular nowadays, so one must have the skills to learn Python programming language. I hope you can understand what am I talking about, and got an idea why programming language Python should be learned by each and every one of you. All right. So that's the facts about Python programming language. So what we do as in SB Infotech, we provide training on different courses. You can visit our website. But for this particular webinar, I would like to throw an offer that we do charge the whole Python course for 3,999. But in lockdown and as far as the online classes are concerned, we are just providing the full Python course in just 499. I am just giving an offer. That's not necessary that that you always join, but I recommend to you that you should join, and you should learn Python as programming language. The duration will be 30 days. I will recommend, that is the reasonable time to learn Python, and I can assure you 30 days will be enough to learn Python. And will include a professional level certificate, right, and study material. So that was all from my side. If you have any doubts or queries, feel free to visit our website, and you can directly connect to me on Facebook. You can connect to me on LinkedIn, and you can directly contact to me at any point of time if you have a query. Because of some time limitations, I could not have questions from your side. If you have any question, a question, you can connect to me directly, right? You can connect me on Facebook, you can connect to me on LinkedIn, you can directly WhatsApp me, on the group we have created. So I would love to answer those questions that comes in your mind. So please do connect to me if you have any queries or doubts. So I would like to provide a big thanks to you, then peaceful listening, and I hope you got some value addition in your knowledge by spending that 44 minutes with me, and got some value addition, right? So please feel free to connect to me for your queries and doubts. I would really love to uh, answer those queries, right? Thank you so much for joining. I would like to hear it on the WhatsApp or LinkedIn or Facebook. Thank you so much for joining.